Hello Pisces, Sun sign, Moon sign, Rising sign folks. It's Nen from Insightful Vibrations here with your forecast for October 2nd to 8th, 2017. Pisces, I'm using the Lenormand Gilded Reverie deck and I have drawn 7 cards for you. The leftmost card, number 27, is the Letter. And that card signifies the general atmosphere or main preoccupation that you have this week. With the Letter, we find that there's communication, there's news coming in. It may be regarding some kind of paperwork as well. You may be served with paperwork. You may be having to complete paperwork. You may also be sending out invitations for something, or you may be receiving an invitation to something, or maybe some job application, or you may be hearing of a job interview. But let's see more about what it's about by looking at the remaining cards. We have the Fish, the Cross, the Invitation with the tulips there. We have the House, the Scythe, and the Ship. So with the invitation, or rather the Letter right next to the House, it may be that you get an offer of purchase and sale. And it may bring you an abundance of money with the Fishes right above the House. And the Cross may represent that very new contract or agreement. So that it may end up, seeing you, really thrive financially from the sale or the purchase of a residence. I also feel with the Cross there that there's a lot of new contracts coming in, but something has to end here. There has to be a transformational issue here. And I do feel that, whatever work you've had, whatever issues you've had, especially if it's a home related type business or work, anything related to construction, that kind of thing, I do feel that things are going to slow down just a wee bit in some respect this week. There's going to be an invitation to participate in more new projects though, so do not worry about that. But the Scythe clearing away the Ship also means there may be a slight problem or repair with a vehicle or a mobile unit. So if your work is relating to repairing things and you need your van or utility vehicle of some kind, you may find that you have to repair it. So that's what's coming up. So there may be a little bit of issue with that. I also feel with the Invitation card and the tulips, you may be invited to some kind of sort of spiritual ceremony. It may be a wedding, a baptism, a funeral, who knows. But it's basically, something that you will end up having to drive for or fly for. So I do feel there's some transportation issues there, and do be careful with any repair issues. Don't neglect your vehicles as well, because that wouldn't bode well this week. I feel as well that communication is important. So if you haven't written to anyone in a long time, if you haven't connected with a friend, or particularly I'm feeling mother energy here, I feel that, anybody who's a Scorpio, Sagittarius, those kind of people, you really need to connect. You really need to think about how you've alienated each other, how the communications have been cut out. You may actually be able to restore that this week. But any relationship that's really not working out and the communication is sort of stopped, or the visits to each other's homes have stopped, or you just stopped, sort of interacting, I feel that this is a week where we still have that residual energy from Pluto being retrograde for many months. Even though it turned direct last week, I still feel that relationships that don't work are just going to go by the wayside this week. And we are coming into this week from October 1st, where Mars is trining Pluto, and then Venus trines Pluto on the 3rd. And basically what we have here is an intensity in relations with people. It gets a little better on the 5th when you have Venus conjunction Mars. So there's a lot of love, passion, and creativity. But it's not the end-all and be-all. And I apologize for the flickering light. I have no idea why it's doing that. It hasn't done that for quite a while. But it's basically, a full moon situation on the 5th as well, full moon in Aries. So there could be some argument, some, heaviness in the relationships and power struggles, even bullying. And so that knife is not a good omen, because it may mean that you just end up cutting away from the relationship. You end up just extricating yourself from the relationship, the friendship, or whatever it may be to you. It could be a conjugal relationship. It could be, just you're dating. It could be a friend, or even maybe a neighbor. Maybe you just have words with a neighbor. But, remember that everyone's going to be sensitive similarly with this full moon. So you want to be kind and tempered in your responses. And remember, because everybody is sensitive, they don't always express themselves in a way that, would be award-winning. So, just be goal-directed, focus on your work this week, and really, especially if you have work or school issues with the letter, it could be schooling, all those kinds of things, because there are really good gains to be made. Now, some of you will get a free cruise or a free resort pass or something like that, and others will have to pay, but you will be going on a trip of some kind. It could be a flight, it could be a cruise, it could be something that takes you away to quite a distance with the fishes there. I feel that there is that long distance travel, possibly a long distance relocation even, if you're intent to do that. And I do feel that whatever happens this week, it's going to end on a high note. So I do feel that you'll feel a lot of peace and contentment, and you'll feel loved. I really do feel that. So it's going to be a wonderful, wonderful, transformational kind of week, where you kind of wonder whether it's good at parts, but it is good. Trust me when I say that. Transformation is very positive here. And, with, abundance flowing through as well, Pisces. Don't waste your time. Just get busy, roll up your sleeves, and get working on things. So thank you so much for subscribing to this channel, for liking, watching.